Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the IANTA webinar series. I see everybody popping into the webinar, so I'll just give a quick 30 seconds for folks to get settled in. And if you would like, you can put, I don't know if we have the chat available for everybody, possibly. If we do, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. Of course, with all the great upgrades of Zoom, I'm not sure what we have situated now on the attendees' capability to comment in the chat. So forgive me if you're not able to do that. Okay, it looks like we are. Good. Yakima Valley, just down the river from us over here in Nimipu country. Welcome. All right, so I want to get started just because I know we have so much to cover today with our new launch of NativeAmerica.Travel Reimagined, your free resource to promote Indigenous destinations and experiences. Next slide, please, Bruce. I'll just take a moment to introduce myself, and then as each of the speakers come aboard, we'll have them introduce themselves. Tatsmewi, that means good morning. Inamonik Dwas, Sapokis Witas, Kasoyapo Sierra Green, Inwas Nimipu, Kasoyapo. And what I said in my language is good morning. My name is Sapokis Witas, also known as Sierra Green. I'm Nimipu or Nez Perce, and also non-tribal, so I have German, Dutch, and Scottish descent. Next slide, please. Some of you may know me, some new names in the chat there. For AIANTA, I'm the Visitor Outreach Manager, and so part of my job is helping folks of our membership get ready for the international marketplace and advancing their business from a vision stage all the way to export ready. And the other half of my job is working within the industry to promote native destinations. Most of you are familiar with AIANTA. For more than 25 years, we're the only national organization dedicated to advancing cultural heritage tourism in Native nations and communities. As a nonprofit, we're the united voice for the 15-point updated data point, 15.8 billion Native hospitality sector. AIANTA's mission is to define, introduce, grow, and sustain American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian tourism that honors traditions and values. And that last 4 words are my favorite part of our mission, that honors traditions and values. Next slide, please. With the new year, we developed and reviewed a couple of our member benefits. If you're a member, go ahead and put in the chat box, member, so we can see how many of you are members. And it's really great to see the member benefits that we're rolling out and we refined this year. So industry leadership recognition, we have reduced rates for you for different events, participation in trade shows like IPW happening next week, which I'm really excited to be able to promote Native destinations and experiences using NativeAmerica.Travel, which we'll get into here in a moment. You can see the list there of other member benefits. And on the right-hand side, you can see the different membership levels. If you're interested in a membership, you can go ahead and put in the chat interested, and we'll have somebody from our membership team reach out to you and see what membership level will be best for you and your organization, company, family, whichever it may be that you're representing. We serve all of the regions throughout the United States, so that does include Alaska and Hawaii and the lower 48. Next slide, please. Great to see all the members typing in the chat there. A quick question and a poll I wanted to launch was, let's see, are we on the right? Here we go. Oh, shoot. I guess we'll have to maybe come back to this. How market ready are you? So one of the things that we want to think about as AIANTA members and those in the tourism industry is, where are you at in this spectrum of business readiness, visitor ready, or export ready? So when you think about business ready, you're just a new startup, entrepreneurs just entering the market and meeting good business practices. If you think that's who you are, your local focused is the market that you're interested in. So if you're business ready, go ahead and type in the chat business. If you're visitor ready, that means you've been attracting visitors beyond your local market. You're expanding and increasing your capacity, serving larger groups, extending your operational season. This is just a general overview of what visitor ready might look like. And then export ready, you're focused on the international visitor markets, and you have the capacity to manage specialized travel trade services like pricing that serves within the travel trade ecosystem. You work with maybe receptive tour operators or DMOs, and you have various distribution channels for your business. So it's really interesting to see where folks are in their market readiness. So we as IANTA can continue to find pathways of education for you to advance your tourism endeavors, but also once you're at that export ready, we would love to have you by our side at the travel trade shows like IPW, Go West, International Roundup, so on and so forth, and really get you hand in hand with those in the international marketplace to advance your destination and increase your visitation. Okay, next slide. And then one other thing I just want you to think about as we dig into today's webinar is Indigenous tourism and Indigenous cultural tourism. So think about this. Indigenous tourism, of course, it's a Indigenous majority-owned company, operated and controlled by Indigenous, but it's maybe not amplifying the cultural heritage piece. So say I have a whitewater rafting company, excellent tourism business, especially right here, I would say in Idaho where I'm at. That would be a lovely experience, but maybe we don't necessarily talk about and amplify the cultural heritage piece on those experiences because it's more of an outdoor recreation experience. On the other hand, if we did include the cultural narrative, then we could say this is an Indigenous cultural tourism endeavor where we have a significant portion of the experience incorporates our Indigenous culture that's appropriate, respectful, and it really amplifies our authenticity of who we are, our homeland, where we come from. So just think about that. I'll just say from the industry standpoint, we have so much interest in the cultural tourism piece. And that's really, again, what IANTA amplifies. Next slide, please. This was just a quick little rundown of IANTA and some of the things that we're thinking about and the angles that we're coming from, what we hear from the industry. And you have so much opportunity with us by your side at IANTA, and that includes our new relaunch of NativeAmerica.Travel. And that's what we'll have Bruce, Eileen, and Colton talk about for the rest of the webinar. So I'm going to pass it over to Bruce without further ado. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Bruce Reddick, and my company was contracted to work with AIANTA to redesign NativeAmerica.Travel. I'm also the partner program coordinator for AIANTA, so I'm very involved with the organization and happy to be a part of their team. NativeAmerica.Travel was Indian Country's first destination website, and it's a very robust site. It represents all the tribes from across the nation. And when we looked at it, we did an analysis and we wanted to see how can we take this website to the next step? It's very popular, but how can we move forward with it? So how we began was we started with focus groups and went out and reached out to people and tried to get user feedback. And that meant reaching out to people that were already on the website, users, as well as just regular visitors to the website, and sent out surveys. And we also did some analysis by independent services, and then we did a review of comparative websites. We looked at a lot of different tourism websites and just comparative sites that were similar to NativeAmerica.Travel and what was being done out there in the industry. A couple of the independent groups that we reached out to was the U.S. Commercial Service, and they gave us a really thorough analysis of the website. They ran a lot of different statistics and helped us out a lot. We met several times with them. We also had it reviewed by HubSpot and TechSoup, which also were able to pull a lot of statistics, see visitor trends, and just help us analyze the website in its entirety. And what we came up with is we tried to summarize the strengths and weaknesses. And a lot of the weaknesses that we saw, the navigation was a little bit confusing. People were getting lost. There were almost too many options to find information. So we really wanted to kind of clean that up and make that a little bit more user-friendly. There was no option for language translation, which was a big weakness because, of course, AIANTA markets a lot to the international traveler. So we definitely wanted to implement that into the new design. The map had a really nice, robust map, but it just didn't have the features that we were looking for, and we wanted to take it up to the next step, especially in the trip planning and for visitors. We wanted to have the capability to visitors not only to see the itineraries that we might present, but they could also develop their own itineraries through the map. So that was something that was real important. And we also needed a more robust accommodation booking system. And that's where We Travel comes in, and they'll be discussing that a little bit later in the presentation. And it also lacked a special events calendar. And as everybody knows how popular the powwows are, and there's so many arts and cultural events, and we really wanted to represent all those events and drive traffic to them. This is what's called a wireframe. And basically, it's just like a draft of how all the user flow when you go into the navigation system and where all the pages hook up. So we went through and we pretty much redesigned the whole navigation. We had a lot of the main buttons up on top remain the same, but then we added a lot of categories, especially in experiences. We wanted to feature the social media a little bit more. And of course, I already mentioned the calendar and the language translation. So we pretty much, this was the foundation for the website. We started building it. When you open the website to begin with, we wanted big, bold photos, something that really said native country, so Native America. So when you open it up, you'll see these big photos that they're animated and they transition from one photo to another and very impactful. And then as you start scrolling down the page, we really wanted to highlight a couple aspects that weren't as strong in the old design, especially the culture. We thought was very important, so we put a separate button for that. Another link to the tribes, and again the events. We really wanted to promote the events as much as possible. And then we're also having featured videos. We're trying to make the YouTube NativeAmerica.Travel YouTube station a lot more robust. We're uploading and we're calling out to tribes to gain a lot more video content. Video content is really hot with web users. They really relate to it. Nice little 1 minute, 1 to 2 minute videos. So we're reaching out to tribes to try to gather a lot of those. And then of course all the destinations. And Sierra had talked a little bit about it. There's 12 different destinations in NativeAmerica.Travel, the way it's broken down. And then we also wanted the website to be very interactive where you can find a lot of new information and new stories. And it's not a static website. It's a very living website. So we have featured story, which hooks into our blog. We have featured destinations, and we have featured itineraries. So all these things are constantly being updated and new information being brought in. So again, the site lives and keeps evolving. And we wanted to really highlight the social media. So we've got Facebook, Instagram, X, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we also have a really nice Facebook feed and Instagram feed, the two most popular social media outlets. So if you go on there, you can see all the really day-by-day updates in Indian country. Again, it represents all the 12 different regions, and this is a map of all the regions and how it's broken down on the website. And when you go under the destination button up on top, before it would kind of bring you down. It was hard to use. What we did is we made it so it opens up its own individual page and you can see each one of these destinations. When you click on a destination, for instance, the Midwest, it gives you a brief overview and it just a background of that particular region. And then if it goes down a little bit deeper, you can see all the attractions and all the listings within that region. So we really made it a lot easier to get around and find information. And again, as I mentioned, every tribe has a complimentary page on NativeAmerica.Travel. If there's a tribal logo, we have the tribal logo on there. The big masthead photo up on top, that can be animated, so you can put as many photos as you want up on top. We usually recommend about 5 or 10 that transition in and out, and then it has all the information on the right sidebar. Here's an example of the experiences page. And this is the one we spent probably the most time on. We added a lot more categories. You can see accommodations, agritourism, arts, and so on and so on. But we added a lot more categories, a lot more breakouts, so it's just a little easier to find all the information. And here I'll just show a couple samples of some of the pages. Here's a tribally owned business, coffee house, a well-known Buffalo Cafe, tour companies, Sun Tours out in Glacier. We really wanted to promote the museums and cultural centers as much as possible, and visitor centers, any interpretive areas. So we have a lot of different pages for those. And again, all the contact information. What's really important too, we wanted to have a lot of robust content for search engine optimization. And that means for when you're going in and searching around for a website, you want to have good, relevant information. So we're really bumping up the content. We're reaching out to a lot of the people that already have listings and also new listings, trying to get as much content on the website as possible. And then events, as I mentioned, the events are super important. Here's Stewart Father's Day powwow. And we came up with a new page that has a new special events calendar. And this is updated almost on a daily basis. As soon as we get events, they go on this new page. And it scrolls down and it also has a calendar view. And you can actually sort it toward what region you're in and see all the events across the United States. The language translation, we really needed to have the language translation, as I had mentioned, for the international traveler. So we went with Google Translate, and there's over 100 different languages that this website can now be translated to, these particular languages. Now the map was through Visit Widget. We partnered with Visit Widget. It's a plugin, excuse me, that has a really robust mapping system and itinerary building. And I'll play a short video. It probably explains it the best. Yeah, that last slide where it showed all the different locations of the different DMOs that are using Visit Widget. This is actually a little bit older video. There's a lot more now. And what's important about that is the visitors are becoming more used to using this system. So when they get on, they can chart out where they want to go and then see what there is to see in those areas, including restaurants, different tribally owned businesses, cultural centers, all that, and they can plan their own itinerary. In addition, AIANTA is also developing pre-made itineraries to kind of guide them through as well. And along with this program is an app. So NativeAmerica.Travel now has an app, and you can download that app on the App Store and on Google Apps. All you need to do is type in Travel Native America or Native America Travel, and it'll pop right up. And I strongly suggest you download this app to your smartphone at the end of this presentation. It's really all the information that's on the website can also be found on the app. It's all interactive. So, for instance, if we make an update on the website, it automatically goes into that app. What we're really excited about is the new booking and payment platform. We had a lot of requests when a lot of our representatives are out at different conferences and travel trade shows. People ask about if we have any type of booking system on the website. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my screen share and hand it over to We Travel, and they're going to discuss a little bit about what they offer. Hi, Eileen and Colton.
Awesome. Hi. While Eileen is pulling that up, I'm just going to introduce myself. So my name is Colton. I reside in Utah, and I'm an account executive here at We Travel. I would love to thank Ciara, Gail, Sherry, Bruce, and IANTA for inviting us here today. I'm super excited about our partnership and working together moving forward, and super excited to be here for the Native America Travel relaunch. So, I look forward to possibly working with all of you as well and diving deeper into We Travel and kind of teaching you more about how you can manage travel and tourism for your destinations. So, with that being said, let's dive into We Travel. So We Travel works with over 5,000 companies worldwide to accept payments instantly, manage bookings efficiently, and transfer funds globally. So how We Travel works, we work with trip organizers, so such as Native America Travel, anyone else on this call that does travel and tourism, building your trips within We Travel, selling those tours, having customers pay online with multiple different ways to purchase and different payment methods, and managing your bookings on the back end after you do have customers and clients that are booking to visit your location. And then finally, paying local suppliers. So why We Travel? We Travel has been a solution for thousands of trip organizers across dozens of different subsegments of travel. These trip organizers were facing issues. They were trying to solve some problems that they were having when it comes to bookings, payments coming in, and all participant information and having it in one location. So we were able to help them consolidate multiple different tools and apps that they were using into one platform. It's been able to help them streamline everything and save them an immense amount of time. So building itineraries, managing the bookings, collecting the payments and paying the suppliers, and also reporting, data insights of reporting and projecting what you can be expecting this year and utilizing these reportings to help you manage your business. So with We Travel, we are part of the Zapier integration. So no matter where you are in your specific, part of travel and tourism, we will be able to meet you where you're at. We are able to connect with thousands of different softwares and tools out there that you may be using. And it's very important for us to be able to communicate effectively with those softwares so that you don't have to duplicate information and you don't have to put, information in multiple different places, and you can do it once. So these are some of the booking page options that we have to offer here at We Travel. This is a trip page. So we have a trip builder where you build out the trip page, and this can be sent privately to customers that you're working with that are doing a group travel. You can also build out trips that are public, and you can put them on your websites, and you can have them, use a book now button on your website to get to that trip and pay for it and add themselves. Next slide, please. So this is an example of a book now button on a website and what it looks like. Similar to all of the websites that you've probably been to. You click that book now button and it will pop up either a widget or it will pop up a new page with all of the trip information. And the final way to pay is through invoicing. So our clients can send over invoices. They can, add the participants manually if they would like to, and then they can send them an email notifying them that they have a payment due. So You can put public trips on your website. They can book there. You can send private links and you can do invoices.
Oh, I think I'm going the wrong way here. Sorry. So thanks, Colton. So as Colton mentioned, the We Travel was really built to help small operators and tour operators, travel companies, um, get their trips out there, build them and get them out there and promote them. And to help do that, and just a little background, I actually have worked with community based tourism development. I worked in that field for over 20 years. And one of my projects was working with the North Dakota Native Tourism Alliance, helping them to set up their tour operations. And often a challenge is simply putting together the tour and figuring out what steps you need, including the pricing and having it all in one spot. So We Travel makes that process really easy. We have a trip builder that really walks you through everything, the trip basics, the trip details, and then options to put in your itinerary page, as well as do pricing. Sorry, my cursor's not working very well here. And then the exciting thing too is a lot of folks really had trouble getting their trips out there and collecting the actual payments. It's one thing to advertise your trip, but to actually get the registration and payment. So We Travel makes that really easy, and you can even offer payment installments to make trips more affordable for your clients. We also have the flexibility to have you add your departure dates if you have a recurring trip, for example, and you can do price adjustments based on seasonality or specific dates. Um, all of that in the back end, it builds a really easy checkout process for your participants. So they simply choose a package and then go through and add their registration information. What's really neat about this is that you can customize your registration form however you need to. You can even do file uploads if you need to get copies of documents, for example. So lots of functionalities to make your life easier when you're managing your reservations. You also have options, and we can talk about fees later, to pass on or absorb fees. Okay. Once a trip also is built, you instantly have several different ways to promote it. We Travel makes it very easy to instantly share it out on Facebook, to email it out. It even gives you embedding codes, and there's about 5 different options, different ways, as Colton showed you. There's one way is putting a landing page on your website, or just a book now button if you have a trip description on there already. So just makes it very easy for you to add a trip to your site, so you don't have to wait. You could even do it most people can even do it on their own. Also, just as with as We Travel makes building trips easy, managing your bookings is also very easy. So we have trip dashboards that are easy to view. You can see all your upcoming trips. You can start to see exactly how many people have booked, the amount that you have available. You can search an individual participant on a trip. There's even a calendar view as well, so you can see all of your trips, when they're going, and how many people are on each of those trips. And then from here, you can go into even more detail, and you have easy functions such as just looking at the bookings, downloading all of your participants in Excel, messaging, promoting. We actually have an update that has a participant table where you can do rooming list. And then there are also bulk actions that allow you to make wholesale changes. And changes are easy. With just one click, you can issue a refund, and our refunds are no cost. You can switch a package. You can change a departure date if it's a recurring trip. So really makes it very easy for you to use ultimately saving you time with managing your bookings. Go the other way. Also, again, those promoting tools are always available to you. And again, you have the trip level detail of what's happening in terms of bookings, participants, etc. Also, one other thing too here, We Travel, if you use the full booking page, embed it on your website or share it out as a private landing page for a group, it will collect leads for you. Somebody downloads a brochure or asks a question, that lead will actually be captured for you. So We Travel is also helping you to generate business and capture more business and interest and respond to those. So I'll hand it back over to Colton. We'll talk about team members.
Awesome. Yes, I am very excited about team members. I think that this would be a huge feature for all members of IANTA, any of you as well, to be able to work together. So if you go to the next slide, Eileen.
Sorry. Okay.
Perfect. So within We Travel, you have the ability to add team members. So, this could be your employees, business partners, any suppliers that you work with for maybe transportation or anything like with accommodations, even group leaders. If you are bringing in, a big group of people and they have somebody that's kind of managing and doing all the booking for them, they can be added on to the trip and they can actually have permissions given to them of what they can and cannot do. So on this next page, I'll show you just how easy it is. You can put their email in, their first and their last name in, and then you can select what permissions you want to give them to do. So if it's an employee, you probably want to give them the permissions to do everything and manage the trip for you and help you with collecting payments, managing the bookings and everything within there. Or if it's somebody like a group leader that is part of the group that is coming to visit you, then you can maybe just show them the list of participants and where they're at with their payment process and everything so that they can help kind of manage all of that for you and work together with you. Next, we'll move on to collecting payments. Collecting payments on We Travel, we actually collect payments within 6 different currencies around the world, but we'll focus more specifically on US dollar. I believe that's probably what all of us will be transacting in and collecting in. But I also want to make sure we touch multi-currency checkout because this is something that's huge. This is something that has come to We Travel in the new year of 2024. No matter where your customers are coming from, we are able to utilize the different payment methods and options that they have to pay depending on where they're located. So if they are in Europe or they are in Great Britain, we actually are able to also access the processing fees of those locations, which sadly, they are cheaper than the United States as a whole, but it does help them, as you can imagine, keep fees lower on their side. Now, I wanted to share the methods of payment that we currently are able to use in the US. So, any of the cards on the left side that you see is what we work with right now. So Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, all of these come with the standard credit card processing fees. Obviously, American Express is a little bit higher, but we also have ACH bank transfers, which ACH bank transfers helps our clients keep fees extremely low. This is essentially just an electronic check that is sent over to you, and they put their routing number in, account number in, and it's sent and it's done. We Travel also offers refunds at no cost to you. We will completely wipe that clean and give the refund back to your customers if that for some reason happened or needed to happen. We Travel also does international card payments. So no additional fees within there. Doesn't matter the cross-border and the currency conversions. We actually do that with the customer's bank on their behalf. You wouldn't have to worry about pricing and updating pricing every day to be converted depending on the currency they're paying in. And I'll hand it back to Eileen.
Yeah, so just as We Travel makes it easy and frictionless for your clients to actually pay, We Travel also has a function on the back end that allows you to pay suppliers for free. So with We Travel, you can add your suppliers and see easily add them with just an email address and and their name. Once they are added, they show up on your dashboard, and you can just select and pay them whenever or however often you need to for any amount. Suppliers, again, they are added with their name, email address. They do have to go through some verification, and this is the ecosystem that We Travel has set up to allow these instant payments to your suppliers with no need to have banking intervene. So once they receive their payment, they can send it to their banks as well. Okay. And then We Travel also helps you keep track of all of the transaction reporting and the admin side of your business as well. We Travel has several different reports. You have payment reporting, transfers out, top up if you ever needed to add to your account. And all of the transaction reporting is available in QuickBooks downloads. You can also, as Colton mentioned earlier, We Travel integrates with thousands of different apps. So if you happen to have QuickBooks Online, for example, you can integrate with QuickBooks and have those transactions automatically recorded there. All right. We Travel also gives you a nice graphic overview of what's happening with your business. So you can see on a timeline, and you can also you can also filter that by quarter, by month, by year, to see in real time how you're doing with your business. It even will track your future incoming payments, as well as you've seen here, red here, any past dues. So you can get an idea of what funds you're expecting in the future based on bookings and payment installments that are coming up due. Also, I'll hand it back over to Colton to talk about We Travel and the different plans that we offer our clients.
Perfect. So within We Travel, we have a basic plan and we have the pro plan. The basic plan still gives you unlimited trips, unlimited team members, unlimited participants. There is no monthly fee associated with the basic plan. The pro plan, on the other hand, is $79 a month, or we actually are able to, give some sort of a discount for the whole year up front being paid. But the biggest difference between these two plans is features. So some of the things we've mentioned in the past, like API integration, branding is another really big one, and making sure that all communications coming from your profile or your We Travel account are branded to your business. There's other common features that are really wanted with all trip organizers, like e-signatures, auto billing, and inventory management. Those are probably the biggest common features that we see our trip organizers wanting to have. Now, We Travel has also come out with a service package. This is something that's new to We Travel. This was brought on because we had a lot of clients asking, well, how does We Travel help us grow our business? How does We Travel help us get more customers, more traffic to our website, or even more conversions on the website? So ultimately, they just wanted help with growing and building more, people to the website. Now, the answer is yes, we do. We do help with these things. So within We Travel Complete, we are offering, ongoing priority support. You will have a dedicated account manager to be working with at all times, reach out to, ask questions, get help with things. We also have SEO and CRO optimization or audits on the website. So our marketing team would go into your website and they would do an audit, and they would provide you with a list of recommendations and insights as to what we can change with the content in your website to help grow traffic and have more people coming to the website. And also CRO, conversion rate optimization. What is the flow on the website that has been converting the most for all of the trip organizers that we have been working with? How are they getting bookings and how are they filling up their trips? And, what can we be changing on the website to get more bookings? And this also has the migration support. If we have trips planned already and booked out for the year, then our team will help migrate those accounts or those trips and all of the participants into WeTravel as well, so that you don't have to put nearly as much uplift and work into getting all of these trips, these participants into WeTravel, so that you can manage all of them in one location. Next steps. So Eileen and I both want to be here for anyone in this that's attending here today that has questions, right? We are more than willing to go through like a full demo of the platform. This is how we typically do things. We usually get together for 30 minutes to an hour, just depending on how many questions, and we go through the platform. We show you the features. We show you how this all works out. So we're going to send an email out after this to everyone that has attended, and we're going to have our calendars in there so that we can, schedule some time. If you have more questions, you want to learn more, great. We are more than willing to do that, and we would love to do that.
And just in closing, we just also wanted to let everyone know that we do have a WeTravel Academy on our website. So if you're on our website and looking around, be sure to check out our WeTravel Academy. It has all of the latest resources on industry innovations. It has tips. There are full guidebooks on how to run a tour operation. So there are courses as well, all sorts of great resources, from everything from managing operations to marketing your business to incorporating the latest AI tools and innovation tools and technology into your business. And also, one of those resources is our featured course, Indigenous Tourism, How to Partner with Indigenous Communities. So we highly recommend that you take a look at this insightful course and share it with your partners and suppliers. That we would appreciate that. So with that, we're open for any questions that you may have about WeTravel. As Colton mentioned, we are also available to do one-on-one demos and do live demos to go through your particular use case need and show you examples of how it could work with WeTravel.
So I believe there was one question in the chat that I tried to answer earlier. Apache Danforth asked or said, it would be cool if it could also track expenses and the user could save receipts. So this is a part of WeTravel that we're currently revamping. But this is something that we have done in the past. We're just trying to figure out kind of the new supplier and who we're going to be working with on this. But there will be a way in the near future to be able to, use WeTravel for expenses. And obviously you would be able to track that within payment reporting of every transaction you've ever had that was an expense. You'd be able to filter that out, and you would be able to have those receipts within WeTravel, and payment reporting would show that to you.
And I also just wanted to add that WeTravel does integrate with platforms that do help you manage your suppliers, manage your vendors. So some of those, for example, Resometry, where you could actually upload all of your vendor contracts and have automatic requests go out to them. That there are systems that do integrate with WeTravel. But as Colton mentioned, as we continue to grow WeTravel, our supplier network and ecosystem is growing, and with that will come additional functionalities to allow you to do that.
Well, I think you can all see why we're so excited about We Travel and having this booking system implemented into the website. Thank you so much, Colton and Eileen, for your presentation and for working with AIANTA. We're really excited to move forward with this program. Sierra, did you have any poll questions or anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, we did have just a set here that I'll put up. So let's see if I can get it to launch here. There we go.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of good questions come together or come in through the chat as well. And any that we don't answer today, again, you have all of our contact information there. Please feel free to reach out to us. And we're always looking for input on the website. We've got a little bit of input today, and email me directly. We just want to improve the site, and like I say, it's a living thing. It keeps evolving, and we keep strengthening it, and we're really excited for the direction it's going.
Yeah, I appreciate the comments and questions. I was trying to answer them as we were going through, as Colton was as well. So that's great. Donna, I really appreciated your question about being the featured image on the NativeAmerica.Travel page when you first pull it up. So that's something we'll definitely bring back with our team and chat about that opportunity for you all to not only have featured listings across the site, which is for all AIANTA members, but to really have kind of that front stage. We'll talk about that as well. That's a great opportunity. And as I mentioned, when I go to these travel trade shows, I bring our iPad, and this is really what I walk our international industry partners through that we have appointments with. So I walk them through the website, how to navigate it. And if you're that first picture, of course, that's something that always draws their attention. So I do always promote, of course, our AIANTA members. So that's one of the member benefits, and why I touched on that in the beginning, was that you can be a featured listing on NativeAmerica.Travel. And just some background information, when I go out to these travel trade shows, I introduce NativeAmerica.Travel, and I let people know, of course, you can contact the company directly, or you can contact AIANTA, and we'll be happy to help you build that relationship. As an industry partner, say in Italy, I know we have Ilaria on here. If there's somebody she wants to work with in Idaho, where I'm at, we as AIANTA can really help build that relationship, rather than somebody in Idaho getting a cold call or email from somebody in Italy and not knowing, is this person legit? What are their intentions? So AIANTA is a trusted partner with industry members, and then also within our AIANTA community. So it's really great to be that liaison between folks and really see some partnerships grow in the last couple of years through that effort. Any other questions? We got some time here, any more in-depth digging into We Travel or the visit widget, which Bruce has some expertise in, and then just the overall website, or anything else AIANTA would be happy to answer. I will just pop up some of the results here from the poll. I think everybody can see that now, possibly. Do you have an attraction listed on NativeAmerica.Travel? So we have 71% said no. So we have a lot of work to do. It is a free resource. I mean, you can't get better than that, this free marketing, whether you're an AIANTA member or not. So that's something that's really profound in the international or in the tourism industry, right? Some free marketing, even if you're not a member. So again, the featured listings are our members. They're highlighted in red. They're pulled to the top of the queries when folks say, I want to go to the Southwest. Our featured listings are our members that'll populate to the top. So make sure you're listed on NativeAmerica.Travel. I did put that link in the chat earlier. The next question, do you have a tour business? So about 38% said yes. The rest said no. And that's fine. We do, of course, feature restaurants, hotels, and accommodations. There's so many options to be listed on NativeAmerica.Travel. And it's not just the tour businesses, but again, when I go out to these tourism travel trade shows, they're really interested in those who have tours. So if you can work as a restaurant with others in your area to build these itineraries and say, come visit Native America or wherever you may be, your destination, the homelands of the people, and experience this Indigenous cuisine. You know, that's a huge draw right now. Dark skies is really interesting for folks, sustainability, and then of course accessibility. So if you offer something that's accessible and it has, you know, really care and attention to accessibility for your visitors, that's something that really draws in a whole niche within the industry that you know, sometimes is left out. So that's really good to highlight as well. Do you use a booking company? So 20% said yes and 80% said no. So of course there's huge opportunity right now for you to work with AIANTA and WeTravel to get a booking company lined up for you. And then the last one, would you be interested in meeting with AIANTA and WeTravel to set up an account? So some of you said yes, about 50-50 said no. So that would be great to have you work with AIANTA and WeTravel to get listed and your account set up here. I just wanted to run through those and then again open it up for any more questions if anyone has anything to share. Okay, well, somebody may be typing, so I'm just going to move on to our last announcement here. Most of you hopefully are aware with our 26th annual American Indigenous Tourism Conference coming up at the Paragon Casino Resort in Marksville, Louisiana at the end of October. And we are really excited for this event. Of course, many of you have attended in the past. We typically have around 300 to 400 attendees, and it's really great to bring together the Indigenous tourism industry and just hear what's going on, what's new developments, new opportunities, and pathways to advance your tourism destination and experience for guests. So please do look into our website. I see Sherry Bowman put the link in the chat for you. And again, we'll have some future webinars coming up next month. Be on the lookout for those. And for those who missed the recording or missed part of the meeting, you can catch a recording on our. Eileen, thank you, Colton. Bruce, always good to work with you. Appreciate everybody's time today. If you don't have any further questions or comments, we can complete our webinar now.
Yes, thank you all so much. And again, make sure to download that the app, the NativeAmerica.Travel app as soon as you can. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, everyone.
I think we're done.
Okay.
Thanks, Eileen. You guys did
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for organizing and giving us the opportunity. We would, I guess we're going to get a participant list at some point. Is that Sierra?
Yeah, Sierra probably send that to you.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.
Have a great rest of the week.
Okay, you too.
Bye now.